Hello, everyone. My name's Brian. I'm a 4 out of 10 Magic the Gathering player, and clearly, as you can see here today, I'm doing myself no favors. So, something that happened recently to me in paper was I had invested in a deck that kind of appeared and was gone. So, this is the deck in question. This is Izzet Prowess. I don't know, is it? And pretty much it was a very simple deck. It revolved around Monastery Swiftspear, Soul-Scar Mage, Sprite Dragon, Stormwing Entity. Just getting these guys as big as humanly possible. They all have prowess, or with Sprite Dragon, they have sort of a pseudo prowess. And you ran all these little spells. Vapor Snag, Burst Lightning, Lava Darts, which are super important because you can play them twice. Bolt, of course. Mutagenic Growths, and Expressive Iterations, along with Manamorphose. And really, the whole idea is just churn through your deck, play a million spells, make your creatures massive, try and get people out of the way, and run them over turn 4, because turn 5 you're going to start losing the game. But other than that, nothing really crazy about the deck. Handful of fetch lands, handful of canopy lands, couple of basics, some shock lands, a couple fast lands, and, that's all it is. It's a very simple deck. The sideboard, again, just as simple. Tormod's Crypts for graveyard shenanigans, Abrades for pretty much Chalice of the Void and other artifact shenanigans, Cleansing Wildfires for Tron decks, Kozilek returns for a whole bunch of little creature and tokeny things, Bedlam Reveler for against control, along with Dispel and Spell Pierce against control, and Stern Dismissal just to get more things out of the way, or to pick up a Leyline of Sanctity or something like that that's causing you trouble. Now, this deck was probably the best deck in Modern right before Modern Horizons 2 came out. And after Modern Horizons 2, the deck slowly evolved and changed. It wasn't immediate. It took a minute for people to realize that Ragavan, Dragon Rage Channeler, and Murktide Regent are just the best creatures and you should play them in anything Izzet. But it did fall from grace, and I think right about now, it's nowhere near top of the meta, and no one is really 5-0ing with it. And as you guys know, I'm probably not going to 5-0 with it either, but I wanted to ask the question, are these old Tier 1 decks, this one isn't even that old, still viable? Can you still get a winning record? So today I'm setting my personal bar pretty high of going 3-2 out of 5 matches. Now, we're not going to do a league here, because I do expect to lose quite a bit. So we're going to go into the one-on-one queue. This will also be super easy to avoid any of the same players because I can just see who's in the queue before I join it. But we're going to see if we can go 5 matches and if we can win 3 out of 5 games. So why don't you join me along for the ride? We can see if this old deck that has not been updated with Modern Horizons 2 cards can still keep it up with all of these Modern Horizons 2 monsters kicking around. At the end of the video, I'll go over kind of where this video... At the end of the video, I'll go over kind of where this deck went, what you play now if you want to play Izzet in Modern, and what you can do with these old Tier 1 decks if they suddenly disappear one day from the meta, and what's important to you is winning and not, playing the game and having fun and trying to make old janky stuff kind of work. So let's go ahead and go to the one-on-one queue and see who's there. All right, everyone, we seem to have a game. Our opponent has rolled a 6, we've rolled a 4, so we get to be on the draw. A Luris deck of some sort. I always find that aggro decks seem to live in these 2-player queues a little bit more than the more control-y, slower decks. I don't think we can keep this. We have no threat. We really don't do anything till turn 2. And playing Expressive Iteration turn 2 is suboptimal, so let's try again. This is better, but we don't have anything to turn the Stormwing Entity on, but we're going to go ahead and keep it and hope we just draw into something useful. Go ahead and let our opponent take the first turn here. Silent Clearing. Fascinating. And they play out an Espy Boy. Looks like they'll pass after that. And we draw a... Oh, nope. They play an Ornithopter before they pass. So this is Hammer Time. I'm going to stop on our upkeep from a previous game. So let's go ahead and try and set up a touch. So we'll go ahead and get some lands out of the deck because we don't want any more of those. This. Plus, now we kind of look like Burn, which will be helpful. Chances are we'll probably die to Hammer Time long before it's much of a problem, but unless they manage to play out both the payoff and the hammer next turn, like the Sigarda's Aid and all that. And there's a Saga. There's a Modern Horizons 2 card that kind of put this deck off the map right there. Because now they're going to have Inevitability with us. There's the Stoneforge. So now they're just going to go find the hammer. Opponent searches their deck. Finds a Cranial Plating, so they must already have a hammer in their hand. Or I guess they might just think they don't need it because of Stoneforge. We draw a land, which is actually one of the worst things that can happen right now. So we'll play out Spirebluff Canal, because we gotta keep trying here. Play Swiftspear, and see if they're silly enough to block any of our stuff. So if they block it with the Ornithopters, then nothing really happens. But if they block with Stoneforge Mystic or Esper Sentinel and kill these guys here, we can probably start to do things. Block with one Ornithopter. Are they gonna do the other one? Nope, so that's just a free damage we get in. No reason to use our Bolt now, because we're going to try and use Stormwing Entity next turn. We'll go ahead and pass. Let our opponent untap. Okay, they untap. Get the second counter on Urza's Saga. Inkmoth Nexus. So they really only have the one white source, which might be stopping them if they can't get the Pure Steel down or something. Oh, nope, they're just going to make a big old token creature. I mean, they should swing in with the Stoneforge and the Esper Sentinel. It's free real estate. Oh, just the Esper Sentinel, that's fine. All right, and we go to our turn. Untap, draw a Burst Lightning. So we could probably do some surprising right now. So if we play out Steam Vent tapped, because we're going to kill multiple things. So what we're going to do here is swing in. They'll probably block one with the Construct token, but then we can start machine gunning things down with our burn spells and just try and clean up the board a little bit. Although next turn they get a Shadow Spear and we just be sad. We're kind of behind the ball in general. Hammer Time is probably the best deck in Modern right now. We're playing against the former champion versus the current champion. Current champion's current for a reason. All right, let's see what they do. Yep, as we expected, they block with a Construct token and a Stoneforge Mystic. So this is real easy. We just go ahead and Burst Lightning the Esper Sentinel. I think we let them just draw the card. It feels bad, but we kind of want to, make sure everything dies here. All right, Bolt and Ornithopter. And Prowess Trigger's going up. Their things shrink while our things grow. So we did a good job cleaning up most of the board. Obviously, there's still an Ornithopter on the field, and they have a man land that can just, deal us Infect 10 in one turn based on how their deck works. They're a little low on mana, but I don't see that being a major problem for them. They can always just recreate the Urza token now if they'd like to. It'd be their whole turn, but they would get, another Urza token. And they have 5 cards in hand, so that is not a small number considering who are 2 in hand, which is much lower than we would like it to be. So while this guy's thinking real hard, let me tell you why I'm doing the one-on-ones versus a league. So in a league, if you go 2 and 3, you really don't get much versus in... he does make the token. Versus in these one-on-ones, you get 5 points back each time you lose. So actually, it's better value if you expect to just take loss after loss after loss to prove a point, which is essentially what I'm doing here. Yep, there's the Shadow Spear. We are sad. Then it is to play a league and just get smashed, because then if you only get 1 win, you literally get nothing. If you get 2 wins, you would actually do better, because if you got 2 wins in just the one-on-ones, you would have gotten 60 points versus the 50 points you get in the league. And even on top of that, we got Thought Seized. We removed our only creature. We're just dunzo here, folks. And you would have gotten the 5 points extra. So you actually get better value if you expect to win less in the one-on-ones. The problem is, with the one-on-ones, you could just face the same person over and over again. It actually took quite a while before we face this, and it's Hammer Time, which is not great. Obviously, this guy's just farming play points, but, it is what it is. All right, what are the chances they're silly enough to block? I think it's literally 0. All right, we'll swing in and see if they'll decide to kill their creatures. I mean, it worked so poorly for them last turn. I don't see them doing it this turn. We're thinking about it, though. We only have 1 card in hand. We can redraw. Okay, so they didn't block, so we'll go ahead and see if we can find something off the Fiery Island. If it's Stormwing Entity. Okay, well, that gives us something to do. We'll deal ourselves 2 damage. We'll get a whole bunch of damage out. Still, it would have been better if we had found, like, a Manamorphose and had gone runner, but putting them to 6 is not a small number. The problem is that Shadow Spear gains them so much life back. But because we played a spell, we can now play Stormwing Entity at a discount and see what our top 2 cards are to see if we could do anything about what's happening here. Lava Dart, Muta. Okay, so next turn, we're going to gain at least 4, maybe 5 life. Go back to 11. We have no way of drawing another card. I guess Lava Dart is better. Mutagenic Growth isn't bad, but they're going to go back up to 11, and that does 4, 5, 6. So I think we put Muta to the bottom, we keep the Lava Dart, and we, like, hopefully find, like, an Expressive Iteration or something like that. But Muta does a decent amount of damage here. In the air, that is, because our stuff on the ground is more or less choked. Well, there's another Urza's Saga. You know, everybody has them. Put them in everything. They're great. So if I were them, what I'd be doing is equipping the Shadow Spear to the Construct token via Urza Saga and a Silent Clearing. Then I would animate Inkmoth Nexus and just swing. Because that allows the Construct token to gain you the most life back. And you still have Ornithopter to block. Because we're going to deal some damage next turn, but we're not going to deal 11, I don't think. Yep. Oh, they did it with the Inkmoth. Oh, well, I guess I could still animate the Inkmoth Nexus even though it's tapped. Unless their idea is to hit me for 4 and then switch it to the Ornithopter to gain a life that way. But that doesn't actually gain you a life all said and done because the Silent Clearings deal you damage. All right, they're coming in for a swing. Oh, they're not. Fascinating. There's a Lava Dart. We knew that. So we deal 6 is the question. I don't think we can because they just block with the Ornithopter, right? Because otherwise we can get them, but I don't think that's what they'll do. So we'll attack with the Stormwing Entity. They'll block with Ornithopter. And we just try and fade again, but there's 4 life lower than I thought they'd be right now. Yep, there's the block, which is fine, because, you know, now the Construct token has even shrunk a little bit. I mean, unless their idea is next turn, they're going to play out like a Sigarda's Aid, and then play out a Hammer, and just Construct token us to death. They're just drawing a card. It's really surprising, actually. They're in a commanding place. I don't understand why they didn't swing and just, you know, have a whole bunch of life. I kind of wish I kept the Mutagenic Growth. It might be that their removal could be like a Fatal Push, and Stormwing Entity just kind of dodges that. Oh, they're just creating another guy. Yeah, so they gain 4 life, which is fine. But at 8, I think we get them. And if they don't attack, we get them anyway. So somehow, from the jaws of defeat, I think we took this one. Okay, that's fine. Can go to 8 all they want, because I can't move the Shadow Spear, I don't think. Expressive Iteration, that's actually amazing. So we'll go red-blue and see what's on top of our deck. That's actually awful. Okay, so put that into our hand. We'll put that in the bottom of our library, and we'll just exile that. We'll play that. So they can block 1, and we're already at lethal, so let's not play with them. I mean, unless they have some sort of Slaughter Pact or something. Everyone swing. Should only be able to block 1. That's what I thought. So Lava Dart, what's up? Oh, they could have Solitude. This could be a Solitude blowout. I don't think Hammer Time runs Solitude, though. No, they can't run Solitude. They have Aluris. Yep. So somehow, I don't know how, folks, we grabbed victory from the jaws of defeat there. I thought we were dead. Okay, against Hammer Time. Definitely Abrade. I feel like Stern Dismissal isn't bad either. Kozilek's Return, I mean, it gets their little guys, but it doesn't do anything to things that are actually holding any equipment, as well as the Construct tokens. Cleansing Wildfire also kind of kills their stuff. Hold on, let me see if I have enough time to pull up MTG Goldfish here and see what they're running here. They're going to have Sanctifier Envex, which is going to be hard. Okay, so change of plans. Kozilek Returns come in. Stern Dismissal is also... I guess we want all 5 of those, and that's all we're going to bring in. So we need to take some stuff out. So Burst Lightnings, as good as they are, I think need to come out. Let's see, maybe cut a single Opt, even though that feels awful. Mutagenic Growths. This could be wrong, but we definitely need Kozilek's Return to stop their pro-red creatures, and they're going to have Sanctifier Envec. The Abrades are just to take out their artifacts in general, and the Stern Dismissal also gets rid of their pro-red creatures, as well as just whatever the big thing that's going to kill us for 1 mana. We can kind of knock it back to their hand, which buys us a turn, which might be all we need to win the match. So let's try that. All right. Opponent, unsurprisingly, chooses to play first. Is this Luris? Mulligans to 6. I think we're going to join them. We don't really have much going on here. We kind of want more action. We don't want 4 lands. This is better. We'll keep this. We'll put one of the iterations to the bottom. That still gives us an iteration, that gives us a Manamorphose, and that gives us a Kozilek's Return, which might just save us, especially if they're mulling to the 8 pieces, because they've already mulled to 5. They mulled to 5, and that's where they kept it. They get the first turn. They play a Concealed Courtyard. That's it. It's actually great for us. That means we can get the Monastery Swiftspear down. Also, we drew the land, so now we definitely have Kozilek's Return on turn 3, which might be the difference between victory and defeat here. So next turn, we might just Expressive Iteration, knowing that we'll probably... Like, it's Expressive Iteration to find one card. Yep, Sanctifier. That's not a problem. We have Kozilek in hand. If we have nothing to do, we'll just Expressive Iteration and try and find the best card. Play Bloodstained Mire. Next turn, we're taking our entire turn Kozileking. We Expressive Iteration now, get to keep 1 out of the top 3. Otherwise, we literally do nothing with this turn. So I think it's better to do something versus doing nothing. We'll go ahead and just get a mountain, and we'll try and find something for next time. Okay. So we'll put the Fiery Islet, or the Lava Dart, I apologize, into hand, and we'll just get rid of these 2 lands. I'm glad we didn't draw that. I'm glad that's off the top of our deck. Because next turn, we literally just pay return, unless they do something silly. Like, if they have a Thoughtseize, we just lose. I want to make that apparent. We are done if they have a Thoughtseize. Opponent plays an Inkmoth Nexus. He's an Esper Sentinel. I am okay with you playing an Esper Sentinel. Please don't play a Thoughtseize. Nope, that's all they have. They didn't swing in with the Sanctifier, so this is going to feel great. So we'll play our land. I guess we can Manamorphose first. See what's on top of our deck. No, you're going to get to draw a card regardless of how I did this, so you might as well get it. We draw a Vapor Snag, which, you know, might come into contact later, but for now, we'll K-return and swing in for a little bit of damage on top of that. Now, they could choose to animate the Inkmoth Nexus and just kill Monastery Swiftspear if they so chose, but I don't think they'll do that. No, they'll just take the hit and try and recover from there. I mean, again, they could have a second Sanctifier Envec, or they could just combo off. But technically, we are in a fine position right now. Opponent untaps. Haha, they got a second one. Luckily for us, we have a Vapor Snag. The question is, can we kill them next turn? I don't think we have enough to. 2 Lightning Bolts. Okay, so that's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ooh. Oh, no, but we have to Vapor Snag, so that's 1, 2, then 6, and then 10. Put them to 4, and that's our whole turn. So I think what we do is we play Soul-Scar Mage. We do a little bit of hoping. I think we just pass, and we might even Vapor Snag at the end of their turn, because they could just replay it. And if we blow our load, you know, throwing a million bolts and dealing them a million damage, it doesn't actually win us the game. Opponent untaps. They're doing a lot of thinking here. Sigarda's Aid. Okay, well, whenever they play the artifact, we might just Vapor Snag the thing now. End step. Do it. So close. But pretty much they took their entire turn, played Sigarda's Aid, did nothing. If this Vapor Snag resolves, we might just have them. It's in their hand. They can still animate the Inkmoth Nexus and block one of our things. But then we have a Sprite Dragon next turn, which is probably enough because we get to do a lot. Let's go ahead and see if they even block. Swing in with both our creatures, see if they even bother to animate. No, we're just gonna go to the zoo, I guess. There's the first bolt. And of course, we've had our first bolt, but what about our second bolt? I realize this might be greedy, but you know, lava darts are nice. And we take her down. So that's the first W in our series here. Let's go ahead and see if we can get a couple more. All right, generic 42. Good luck, my friend. It looks like you've outrolled us. Let's see. 2 creatures, 2 pieces of removal, 3 lands. We might get a win out of this. Let's go ahead and keep and see what we do here. Our opponent has a Kozilek. Oh, is this the same guy? Into a Thoughtseize. Thought he had a different icon. I'll have to go back in the footage, folks, and see if this is the same guy. It sure is the same deck. All right, we'll play this and pass. 2 Stormwing Entities with no ways to power them out is pretty bad, but next turn we can play Sprite Dragon, assuming this is still just hammer time. They wouldn't have too much hand disruption. All right, opponent plays out a Swamp. Grothy Voidwalker. Okay, so this is a different guy. Well, at least it's usable footage then. Oh, Sprite Dragon, I'm sure you'll make it all the way to retirement. Not die against a deck that's probably straight up running Vindicate. So what, this is the Elemental Ephemerate deck, probably? Which, those Elementals really do beat up on this deck, too, because an Ephemerated Solitude just does a number on this. Prismatic Ending. Yep, here's another one of those Modern Horizons 2 cards. So we're pretty much playing against Modern Horizons 2 Tribal, which is Sag, but the good news is the Stormwing entities probably won't get Prismatic Endinged off the board. Probably. All right, so what we can do here is play a Fiery Islet, Burst Lightning, which is what we cast, the Voidwalker, and then hit ourselves in the face a lot and cast a Stormwing. See what's on top of our deck. A Swifty and a Muta. Those both seem great, actually. So top top, and we'll see what they do here. They can still have Solitude, which would take out literally all of our creatures at this point. Yep, in fact, they're fetching on our end step, which could mean anything. All right, our opponent untaps, plays an Inquisition. That's a little sad. We're going to lose probably our Expressive Iteration. Yep, there she goes. They have all the mana, too. Yep, there's the Vindicate I was talking about. So I think we set up again this turn. We Lava Dart while there's no Voidwalkers to remove it from our graveyard, and we continue to deal ourselves damage and set up even more with a Stormwing Entity. A Lightning Bolt and a Muta. Again, both of these seem great. So Muta top, Lightning Bolt top. We have a Lava Dart in the yard, which can also deal a whole bunch of damage. Unless they just keep top decking removal. I suppose they will just eventually, you know, end us on that. Because what this could be right now, folks, is a Solitude. Like a hard cast Solitude. Which is actually going to make us play a little conservative for him. So we'll go ahead and run out Swifty. And we'll swing. I mean, we'll just take the damage now if we don't do anything. Which I honestly think is fine. Oh, here she comes. Vanishing Verse. Nothing we can do about. So we know the door's open, though. Which means we can now get in a little bit of extra damage. Because we know we're drawing a Mutagenic Growth, so we kind of need them to draw dead. We might as well just get our full values. So they're at 8. Next turn, we can deal 4? Again, I really hope they just have Stone Cold nothing. Okay, so they're going to put themselves to 7. And now we're at the point where top decking a Solitude just ends us. Okay, so they don't have a creature, which means they probably have a piece of removal. We'll just swing in. We'll take it slow. We can't kill them anyway. Do what they do. Please don't be Solitude. Kaya's Guile. Yep, nothing we can do about that. At least they didn't gain life. Looks like they just drew another answer. However, we have blitzed. We are out of action. There's Voidwalker to make things worse. Okay, so there's a Vapor Snag, which we can use to get rid of the token later if we absolutely want to. Go ahead and pass back to the opponent. They can untap. Inquisition. Okay, well now I think we get rid of the token. We're going to take a damage anyway. At least this way they take a damage. And they're at 6, so if we just top deck bolts, you know, in theory we can get there. Both of our lives are low, and he is dealing 3 unblockable damage each turn, so oof. We have to deal ourselves damage to opt. Bottom, please. A bolt. So, if we bolt them, and we find another bolt, then that's amazing. But we go to 4, and that means we have to find another bolt. So let's see what they do, because we might just bolt Voidwalker, which would put us in a top deck off again, but, you know. Ooh, what are they going to cast? That's not good. They can do Burst Lightning, Vapor Snag, Lava Dart. Burst Lightning. Picked. They're going to deal us 4 damage. Okay, so we're at 1, so we can't tap mana anymore. Vapor Snag can't do anything about it. Oh, no. No, no. They have a life-linking land. Darn. If we had just drawn a non-damaging mountain, that would have been great, but unfortunate. They're just going to spin up the Shambling Vent and beat us to death here. Oh, they're not? I mean, I'm amazed I'm alive. I'll take it, though. I don't know why they didn't do that. We can't play any spells. Lava Dart, again, all these things just absolutely making fun of us. And again, this goes back to my theory that I draw Canopy lands more than I should. There's only 3 Fiery Islets in this whole deck, and here we have 2. Okay, he finally figured it out. He gave us an extra turn for some reason. That land was way down there. Okay, against this deck. So they're going to have a whole bunch of small creatures. Stoneforge is part of this package. And if they just ephemerate stuff, we're probably just dead. So what do we do here? I guess Kozilek's Return is fine. If we can get him with that, it's more of a surprise than a guaranteed gotcha. I guess Abrade is necessary as well to try and stop some of their artifact stuff, although Cauldron Complete is just indestructible, isn't it? Well, if we take out an Abrade and put in 1 Stern Dismissal, we can just bounce the tokens, which kind of stops him for a minute. But what do we take out? Well, the Burst Lightning betrayed us. Vapor Snags are good. Ops are fine. You can always cut a Muta, which means we just have to cut one more thing. Maybe cut one op. I mean, it worked last time. All right, let's get back into it. All right, we'd love to take the play this time. Yeah, this is fine. I mean, if they go turn 1 Grief Ephemerate, then we probably lose anyway, but, you know, we can pretend like we're not going to get absolutely hated out of the game and play a Swiftspear. That's the thing with our opponent's deck. Like, it has a haha, I win, but it's not really reliable enough to be seen in the meta a ton, but I wouldn't sleep on it. Look at their extra draw, has a Marsh Flats, which means they could just kind of go off. Right, they cracked the Marsh Flats, getting themselves a Godless Shrine, untapped, which means shenanigans are a-coming. Just an Inquisition. Okay. Well, we have 2 Sprite Dragons and 2 pieces of removal, so I guess they might take a Lightning Bolt or the Sprite Dragon. I don't see a world where they take Stern Dismissal. Yeah, they take the Lightning Bolt. That scans. The next turn we get to play a Sprite Dragon and do a lot of hoping. Ooh. I guess we actually hold that, because I guess it would be better to be able to play that and get the token on a Sprite Dragon, and then next turn hit them with 2 pumped creatures and 1 kind of new Sprite Dragon. Let's see what they do. Untaps, plays a Swamp. Stoneforge Mystic. Yeah, we kind of saw that coming, so this will probably be, what, Cauldron Complete? Cauldron Complete, yeah. We saw that coming. So now we kind of want to leave up something for Cauldron. I mean, I think we still kind of go with our original plan here of Manamorphose, get our triggers, and then let's see what we draw. Well, first I want a blue and a red. Draw an Opt. They're going to hit us for 5. That's totally fine. But we get to flick Cauldron Complete next turn. I guess we get to do, unless we want to find a land. I guess technically this does more damage this way if we play Swiftspear and then Opt. So we can try and find a land, which would be nice, because if we find a land, especially a blue land, we get to Stern Dismissal anyway. Expressive Iteration. That's great for next turn, but next turn we want a Stern Dismissal, so we'll put that to the bottom and hope for a land. Find a Lava Dart. That's also not going to be bad next turn. All right, fly everything over the top. Put them to 6. I mean, unless they just have the Surprise Batterskull. The Surprise Batterskull could do a lot, but just playing a Cauldron Complete and hitting us for 5, I don't think wins them this game right now. In fact, on board, that leaves them dead. I think a tap land. And that's the thing about Shambling Ven. I used to play Shambling Ven a lot because I played a lot of Eldrazi and Taxes. There's another Stoneforge Mystic. Oh, so they're just going to block next turn? What do they find with their new Stoneforge Mystic? Find the Batterskull, but I think they're dead. Because I think what we do here is we Stern Dismissal 1, and then we double Lava Dart the other one, and then they die on the board, unless they have Solitude. Solitude is a big middle finger shaped kind of to our plan here. So we can play out Spirebluff Canal. I don't think they would have done that if they didn't have Solitude, but there's really nothing we can do about that. So I think what we do, we don't want to put Stoneforges back to their hand, I don't think. We'll just go ahead and play out another Sprite Dragon, and we'll go to combat. Yep, nope, and they're dead on board, so again, we know it's Solitude. Oh, okay. I'm not sure why they would have done that, but again, we'll take it. I guess they were waiting for us to do like pumpy things, but they were just dead on board. I think we want to change based on that victory, that honestly surprising victory. No, Kozilek's return still would have been amazing at any time. The Stern Dismissal was good. Anything that's better, anything that Abrade would be better? I don't think so. No, I think we leave it as is, and I think the Abrade, again, is just good to get stuff out of the way. It's good for blowing up a Batterskull, which could really ruin our day here. Opponent obviously chooses to play first. Okay, so we have a whole bunch of anti their deck, but no plan on top of that. So we need to mull. Okay, we get rid of the Soul-Scar Mage, and we just try and finish this one nice and quick. Let's see what their turn 1 is. Oh, just a black go. Spirebluff, go into Swifty, and ship the turn. Luckily, Magic Online is smarter than me, and when I go to yield through my turn, they still give me a chance to attack. Voidwalker. Okay, well, that doesn't block. Stormwing Entity. So we can just set up for the next turn by Manamorphose. We can have a Manamorphose if they'd like, and then Stormwing Entity. And then next turn, we have 2 Mutagenic Growths and a Sprite Dragon. That doesn't do anything. That actually lets us play Monastery Swiftspear. So we're really planning on just going for the fences next turn. But for this turn, we'll just hit them for 2. So if they just sit here and do nothing, or play another Droppy Voidwalker, or in general do something that doesn't really interact with us, we should just be able to kind of plow through them. Well, now they're going to have white mana, which probably isn't good for us. They can Prismatic Ending the Swiftspear. Vindicate the Stormwing Entity. Well, I think we still go off next turn. Let's see. So we draw the land, which we knew. We got a mountain. Play the Sprite Dragon. Play the Monastery Swiftspear. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So it's not quite lethal, but it's close. And they're not going to do anything, so we're going to start spreading the love here. We're going to put the Mutagenic Growths on the Swiftspears because the Sprite Dragon has flying, which might come into play later. Although I think at this point, if they had something, they would have done it. Now we're just getting more and more life back from Solitude if it's Solitude, so I guess they don't have it. We put them to 3, which leaves them dead to a Sprite Dragon, even if we draw Stone Cold Dead next turn. They can Manamorphose with the Voidwalker and, like, play a Solitude, but that actually dismantles us because it gets rid of the flyer, now that I say it out loud. Yep. Am I a Mighty Wizard? So they play that. They get to draw a card too, so they get another chance of finding it. There's Manamorphose. Yep. So this is definitely Solitude. Plays a land. Not sure why. Dude, wow. Our opponent is marveling at how much damage we can do. Oh. Well, I guess they can still Solitude on top of this. Oh, just to Vindicate. Gain 2 life? Yeah. I mean, that's not what I expected to happen. I didn't expect this deck we're playing against to have evolved long enough. There's an Expressive. Okay, so we're just trying to find a Bolt at this point. Please be useful cards. Okay. The one that goes to hand is Soul-Scar Mage. The one that goes to the bottom is Sprite Dragon, and the one that we exile is that. Actually, I guess we should have put the Sprite Dragon in our hand, but okay, we attack. We lose by 1, you know why. Inquisition takes the Soul-Scar Mage, so now I don't feel bad about it. Keeps their blocker up, probably. The illusion of choice, opponent. The illusion of choice. All right, well, we get to swing in again. Put them to 3, so they'll be back in bolt range, but we still have to fade a few more turns. What? Oh, okay. For half a second, I thought they weren't going to block. Okay, well, we leave it in the Magic God's hands now. Cling to Dust. Ugh, the life gain. They cling our one creature that was in the graveyard, which is unfortunate. This is a Vanishing Verse. No, it's a Stoneforge. Even worse. Now they can get Batterskull. Sort of Fire Nice. Sure? I feel like Batterskull would have been better. Vapor Snag. Don't say. That doesn't get us a kill, but it gets Stoneforge out of the way. And it does deal them quite a bit now. I mean, that would be better if it was straight up removal, but at least it still does the damage. But it's going to be taken to 1, which means either they already had Batterskull in their hand, and that's why they got Sword of Fire and Ice, or we might have just stolen this. What is this? 4 mana for something. Oh, it's a Cling. Voidwalker? Yeah, that's the only creature in the graveyard. Oh, there's a Sprite Dragon. Ugh. This is so heartbreaking. Oh, no. We really need to draw a damage spell. Bolt, please? Bolt? Vapor Snag. Oh, okay. Well, we can just do it again. Tapping the correct mana might help. All right. Our opponent a GG question mark. GG. All right, folks. And we got there. Another one down. I think what we might be proving here is the people who play in the one-on-ones are not as out for blood as the people who play in the leagues. Because I don't think if we showed up with Izzet Blitz from pre-Modern Horizons 2 and in defiance of the Magic Gods themselves showed up with a version without Mishra's Bauble or Dragon Rage Channeler or Ragavan, that we would be doing so well right now. But so far, mind-boggling to me, we have beaten one of the best decks in Modern and one of the Flash in the Pan decks in Modern, being honest, but still full of Modern Horizon 2 cards. So right now, I'm feeling pretty good. And I just realized that you guys can't see me holding up fingers here, but hey, we'll take it. Going to the next one. So to give you guys a little bit of behind the scenes, when doing this with the 2-player queue as opposed to the league system, you actually get to see who you might play, because obviously they just put the queue up there. And as you can see, the guy we just played, and again, good guy, good sportsmanship there, he's still sitting in the queue. So now we not only have to wait for someone to play, but we have to wait for 2 people to want to play. Because someone has to play him, because we don't want to play him again, we already did. And then someone else has to come by that we want to play. So normally when you do the leagues, it's literally just, hey, you know, do it. And you wait maybe a minute and a half to get another player. Even now, it's about 8 p.m. in Sydney. So it's like, you know, the butt cracking night in the civilized world and like the United States and all that. But you do a lot of sitting around and wait. So I don't know if I'll use this little snippet or if it'll just be from my own entertainment, but you do a lot of sitting around and waiting for an opponent if you're going to shoot a video like this. All right, and we have won the die roll. I'd love to play first. We're kind of missing spells here. We're going to go back to the well here. This looks a lot better. I guess we can put the Vapor Snag to the bottom. Our opponent has kept their 7. Okay, cool. So we'll keep this. We'll put the Snag to the bottom, and we'll try and just win with this hand. Spirebluff, play out our creature. And I guess next turn we'll play out the Sprite Dragon, depending on what our opponent's doing. Pass to our opponent. Play out a Watery Grave, shock themselves, and Thought Seize. So there goes the Sprite Dragon. I'm a Mighty Wizard. He'll probably pass after that. Yep. That's not something I can claim to be really good at to see. Draw a Scalding Tarn. Guess we can, I guess the whole point of the Scalding Tarn is to crack it, to then have less lands, which is fine. Our opponent will now know our hand, though, which is kind of annoying. But at the same time, we can go ahead and just play a mountain. Opt. Stormwing Entity. That does us no favors. Lightning Bolt. Okay, I don't think we play that now. I think we save that for a rainier day. And swing with Mr. Mage. Connects, knocks him down. Now, it could just be Shadow. They do have a Watery Grave and a Thoughtseize, and we might just be doing them favors, but kind of have to play the cards we're dealt here. Opponent has a Marsh Flats. Fascinating. Also, the turn after that, we draw an Expressive, which is great. If they drown in the lock, I'm screaming. All right, Expressive Iterations on the stack. Opponent is thinking real hard about it. Looks like we are getting drowned in said lock. I hate that card. Not just a regular counterspell. Somehow that doesn't make me as salty as good old drown in the lock. Play out the Spirebluff Canal and go through. This is just Esper control, so that'll probably just boop our Soul-Scar Mage now and make me feel bad I didn't play out my Lightning Bolt last turn. Celestial Colonnade. Okay. Well, here's the end. Yeah, Prismatic Ending. Goodbye. And a Familiar. Well, might as well now. Put him to 6 before the Familiar can ruin our day. We draw a Manamorphose. Okay, well, they can't counter this, or they can. It won't actually do anything, though. Blue, red, come on, Stormwing Entity. Marsh Flats. Play Marsh, or Bloodstained Mire, and go through the turn. I mean, if we just sit here and draw dead, then we sit here and draw. They now have Cryptic Mana. I don't think we'll be getting away from this. I think this is what happens when have a Blitz deck and you don't win by turn 4 against control. I mean, we wait for them to tap down, we could deal them 4, put them to 2, which I'm sure is scary if it wasn't for the fact that the Judge's Familiar can just counter our spell, so now we can't kick it now that I've said that out loud. So I guess we're still trying to find creature. I mean, now we can hardcast the Stormwing entities, but I'm pretty sure they have Cryptics in their hand. I'm attacking with the Familiar, so really, Expressive Iteration, this might bait. Hey, you want to counter a thing? Snapcaster for Counterspell. Yeah, that's fine. I don't even think we kill the Snapcaster now because we kind of want Burst Lightning to deal them 4 damage. So we'll just yield because we're not gonna cast Burst Lightning. Manamorphose. I mean, we'll see. They're gonna let us draw another card, which is nice of them. A Bolt. We'll see. Oh, nope. Seems like they got another one. Yep, just a straight up counter. And they're not drawing extra cards though, so we could in theory run them out. In theory, we're taking 2 a turn, so who knows? Oh, it's like 5-color control. So now their Prismatic Endings could, in theory, even ruin our day. You know, I'm just gonna let this roll for a little bit. Because if we can kind of run their hand out a little bit more, even get their life just a little bit lower down, then the Burst Lightning actually becomes pretty lethal. And if they're just attacking with a single Snapcaster, then this is going to take them a while. A Mountain, which means we get to cash in the Fiery Islet at the end of next turn. So this is the most amount of mana they're going to have for the moment. Put them to 2. Yep, they're at 2. We take 6. Now we really need to draw something that just deals damage. Oh, they didn't attack with the Snapcaster. Swiftspear, okay, that does nothing. A Sprite Dragon, that also does nothing. But I guess we do it now to force them to block. And in theory, make ourselves live a little bit longer. I'm surprised they didn't attack with Snapcaster. Because now they have to block with their 2 creatures. And yes, they still have the Celestial Colonnade, but that stops them from countering things. Opponent thinking about how they want to block. Or do they have a piece of removal? That's even worse. They have a path. Vitality. Okay, well, we'll get the last mountain. I wish we had... Okay, well, they are going to stop themselves from going to 1 and get rid of their counterspell on board. But now they have 4 cards in hand. So if they just attack with Snapcaster Mage and do not attack with Celestial Colonnade, they're going for broke. Just swing... Okay, swing with 1. Are they afraid of Ragavan? Do they not know how poor I am? Okay. Magic Gods. Let's have a little chat real quick. Can you give me like a Lightning Bolt or a Lava Spike? And opt, okay. Maybe we can still be friends. How about now? Can I have a... No, not Soul-Scar Mage. And not Sprite Dragon. So we play Sprite Dragon on defense. Because we need to not die to Colonnade. The Magic Gods, as always, have forsaken me. I don't know why I bother calling them. Well, that's the thing, though. If they have removal, they can't activate Colonnade, can they? No, they're just going to activate Colonnade. Okay, yeah. No, I will trade. Well, not trade, but I will gladly take another turn if that's what you're offering me. Vapor Snag. So we pass, and we snag their Colonnade back to their hand. Again, if they just attacked with the Snapcaster Mage, they would have won by now. They would have won like 4 turns ago. Oh, please crack Marsh Flats. Not gonna. Okay, just attack with Colonnade. Good. And take a damage. This is so silly. Is the name of the game today Snatch Victory from the Jaws of Defeat? Because that's what it feels like. Sprite Dragon. I think we got there, guys. We outground an Esper. Actually, it's not even Esper. It's a Million Things control deck. Oh my god. Okay. Wow. What are we doing? So, okay, with control, there actually is a basic kind of sideboard here. So Bedlam Reveler is good because it allows you to refill your hand after they kind of rip it apart. Of course, Dispels and Spell Pierces are good. Now, while Cleansing Wildfire could do damage to some of what they're doing, I don't know if it's actually better than anything else. So let's see, what do we want to take out for Dispels and Spell Pierces? Well, this is real easy, or at least the Bedlam Reveler. You take out one Stormwing Entity for the Bedlam Reveler. Easy trade. We did manage to win a game with Vapor Snag, but I do think it is still correct to take that out, because they don't actually have a ton of creatures we want to put back in their hand, and I guess Spell Pierce would be just as helpful, and Dispel is good because it stops them from countering us. It does leave us with 2 more cards to try and figure out. Now, normally I cut the Burst Lightnings because they're just kind of weak compared to Lava Dart and Lightning Bolt, but I'm going to split the difference. I'm going to take out a Muta and 1 Burst Lightning and leave 1 Burst Lightning in because that's actually been doing great. Let's go ahead and put our sideboard cards in and cross our fingers. All right, and we are back. Let's see. This is honestly fine. We have turn 1 plays, we have a Bolt, we have a Dragon, we have a Manamorphose, we have 2 lands. It'd be better if we had our 8 pieces, but okay, it looks like they don't have hand removal, so we do get to set up a little bit. There's another Spirebluff, which is honestly one of the best lands we can find at this point. Play out Mr. Mage. And next turn, we might just play out Sprite Dragon, depending on what they do. Getting Sprite Dragon up early so that it can get bigger in subsequent turns is really nice. All right, our opponent cracks on our end step, gets a Sacred Foundry, punches themselves in the face, and bolts the Soul-Scar Mage. Okay, he came to play. He's a gamer. I wonder how many bolts he has in his 5-color nonsense deck. You know what? If you have another one, you have another one, but we're here to game. Here's my Sprite Dragon that will be hopefully punching you in the face for a lot more next turn between Manamorphose, Bolt, and Opt. They let it hit him, so I guess they don't have another Bolt. This is making me really want Cleansing Wildfire more. Expressive on 3. Oof, it's the perfect term to Expressive. Watery Grave, plays themselves to Watery Grave. Tapped. Okay, so we get an open turn. So Scalding Tarn, go get us a mountain. Start the clown music. So red, Manamorphose. Put a token on Sprite Dragon, make red-blue. Draw a Scalding Tarn. Okay. Opt. We can find anything else of use before we just bolt them. Expressive Iteration. Doesn't do anything right now, but does a lot next turn, so that goes to hand. And now, finally, a bolt, and we... Oop. Actually, you're right. Want to play out Soul-Scar Mage. Thank you, Magic Online, for being smarter than I am. We swing for 4, put them to 9. We're in a really good spot. They are moving a little slow, but if they rat the board or something, we're back to the Stone Age. Back banging rocks together, where I feel comfortable. Opponent untaps, taps, has their own Manamorphose, makes white, and a red. Oh, and just Prismatic Ending my dude. Rude. You have another piece of removal? You do. Okay, so 2 Prismatic Endings has put us back to the Stone Age. And we drew a land. Okay, so first things first, Expressive, please find more than 3 lands. Okay, so the one that goes to hand is the Sprite Dragon. One that goes to the bottom is the Scalding Tarn, and I guess we keep the Fiery Island, or Izzet. And we take a damage, but that's fine, because, oop. Nope. Blue, please. Play the Sprite Dragon, puts them to 8, and then next turn we could just turn a whole bunch of Fiery Islands into useful cards. They are somehow still at 5 cards, though. And we're at 3, too, but they're 3 lands, so we're going to sit here and do nothing and die. Opponent untaps. Yeah, they got something. Ooh, Rogric. Okay, so they can't do anything else this turn. I might be wrong. Oh, no. They're done for the turn. We really need to draw something that does something. Manamorphose might count. Okay, put the token on him. Go blue, red, Lightning Bolt. So that's 6. Use the blue to draw another card. Spirebluff Canal. We could play the Islet. I think we do. We bolt now. Put them to 5. We'll put them to 2. They get to go off with the general next turn. But they're at 2, and we get to draw one. We're going to leave our hand like this, though, because they do have hand disruption, and they could just look at our hand of empty land with one of their mana. They have to start casting multicolored spells and then just fill the board with a million things. This is another Manamorphose. Stitch in Time. Oh, no. This could go poorly. They won the flip. So they get another turn now. This is the worst thing that could have happened. Hero Singleton. Oh, wow. I don't even care if we lose now. That's amazing. Can they deal us 15 in one turn, though? Again, I guess like they don't need to deal us 15. They could just need to kill a Sprite Dragon. Not the hardest task when they're playing Bolt, and it's a 3/3. Teferi Time Raveler. No. Oh, no. So they get to bounce the Sprite Dragon. Oh, man. I was having fun until you played a real card, opponent. Yeah. Okay. So now we have to do something this turn. Luckily for us, we get to draw another card. Lava Dart. Oh, okay. I think we get there. Stormwing Entity. And we get to style on them on top of that. Okay, so Scalding Tarn. Crack. We're dead if we don't win, so let's just get the Steam Vent. Go Bibbidi Bobbidi. Dragon. And then do that. Do we get the GG? We haven't gotten the GG yet. So now we have to try and kill them by sacrificing the land. And we get there. That's 3. All right. We are really good at rolling ones, so our opponent gets to go first. We can actually keep this, though. If they don't kill the Soul-Scar Mage, it's still a turn 2 Stormwing Entity. What Triumph is that? But whatever one. Mardu, if anyone's still paying attention to what these are. Okay, well, we drew a land, played a Fiery Island, passed the turn. Opponent untaps, plays a Windswept Heath. Opponent has really blinged out cards. And passes the turn, we another Fiery Island. Grr. Play a Steam Vent, deal ourselves some damage. Look really weird by Mutagenic Growthing ourselves during main phase, which allows us to Stormwing. Lava Dart, Sprite Dragon. So Lava Dart's great, put that on top, and also Sprite Dragon's great, put that on top. If only Stormwing Entity was a green card, and then it would also draw the cards that Scrow's for. Scrow? The multiple of Scry. Is it just Scry? Pass, our opponent cracks the Windswept Heath. It's a Breeding Pool, tapped, and takes their turn. Untaps, plays the Plains, tapping a whole bunch, really scary. Him again? There's so much Ferris going around right now. Okay, but we have our Sprite Dragon, which means we still get to kind of go off a bit. We know there's a Lava Spike coming next turn, so we might as well go while we can here before our creatures start getting removed, or before they come up with a million big things. So we'll swing. Not to have anything. We'll go ahead and bolt them as well. Deal a whole bunch of damage. Get all these wonderful triggers. So I actually did play a lot of Blitz and Paper when it was the deck to have. And this is what you could do. Your opponent's trying to do something really clever with a million colors that has such inevitability, but by the time they get it done, the game's over. Because right now they have to remove at least one of our flyers. Bloodbraid Elf, that might remove a flyer. That might do a lot of things. Golem, and they find a Tribal Flames. That sure gets rid of something. That gets rid of a Stormwing Entity, I believe. Oh, man. Tribal Flames. Good old invasion card. So if we could find a Bolt, that'd be great. You can hit me with the blood. This is a race. This is the race, and believe it or not, I'm winning at the moment. Lava Dart. Hey, remember that race I was talking about? And swing over the top. So the Lava Dart action. Oops. Killed my untapped one. No matter, I didn't have anything else to do with the mana anyway. All right. And what do we have for more general what's-his-face? I mean, he's playing a million colors, so I guess Cleansing Wildfire. I guess Abrades can kill his golems, too. I don't know if we necessarily worry about the golems, or if we just try and go... Vapor Snag's better than Abrade. So I guess we just try and do that, and like, what do we take out? Unida's probably good. Expressive Iterations are amazing. That's amazing. So we'll take out a Burst Lightning and an Opt. And run it like that, and see if these Cleansing Wildfires even do anything. I'm willing to bet he's playing at least one of each mana. So it might be neat to nip like a Triome or something, but, you know, it might just be... All right, we're back into it. All right, we can screw with that. We could do that. Opponent also kept 7. That's the thing. It's going to be 3 turns until they get, like, their namesake card. So in the meantime, we get to give them something to think about. Cracks at the end of our turn, gets a Triome, untaps, plays a Plains. I'm sorry, who? Well, then. This is like a big wall thing. Play Steam Vents. What are we doing? 1, 2. Makes it a 3, 4. Let's do again. Turns anything into a Geist of Saint Traft. Yeah, I guess we can pay 2 life. That's fine. Do we mana? I guess we mana. Get our Prowess trigger. See what we draw here. Let's go red, red. A 3rd Expressive Iteration. That might be too many Expressive Iterations. I know that might be sacrilege to say, but it might be too much. All right. Bolt him. Browse triggers go burr. They were never not going to kill one of our things, so they can take out a Swifty, and we'll deal them another 2 damage. That thing goes to the graveyard, and hopefully we can blow up any creature they have that makes, whatever the creature attacks, yeah, it just turns anything into a Geist. So they have to play something. We'll get to Expressive next turn. Hopefully find the removal we need for whatever they put down, because if it's General What's-His-Face, then, yeah, can't be the General, because they put in a thing. Son of Draco. That's, spicy meatball. Find a Fiery Island. Well, play one of our many Expressos. Okay. One goes to hand, which will be the Muta so they can't see it. One goes to the bottom, which will be the Spirebluff Canal. We'll exile the mountain, because we actually need the mountain for things like Lava Spikes. Because we can swing in and kill the Draco if they choose to block. They didn't choose to block. Okay, well, how much damage can we do? So, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a lot of damage. I actually think we do that. We have another land in hand already, so it doesn't feel bad to kind of dart. Put them to 3, so they're in bolt range now. I don't think anything they have with Sign of Draco can get them lifelink immediately. Oh, no. Gaining for life. That's the opposite of what we wanted to happen. They just hit us with the dragon. They hit us with the dragon. That thing has Trample Vigilance, which means it's just in our way. Oh, they got more? Oh, they got more. Oh. Boo, hiss. Hiss, boo. Play Sprite Dragon. Kinda ready for next turn. Man, Night of Autumn is a good card. Because we can Expressive next turn. They just leave up Scion to block. That's letting us kind of refill. And the Expressive Iterations really do kind of let us go to the zoo. Have a black creature, though. That's annoying. Putting themselves to 4. No fear. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. That's going to deal so much damage. Wait, are we dead? I think we're dead. Hey, I forgot about a card, and then it killed us dead. Oh, wait, no, we're 2. Wait, we could still do this. No! Oh, that's so sad. What would we have gotten? Well, yeah, we had the bolt coming. Lightning Bolt, it's a good card, folks. I still think that was great. Vapor snagging the thing would have been fine. Yeah, we're still good. But I have to say, that wasn't it. Again, in theory, this is amazing. Pass. Player Tarn, pass. Opponent gets to draw, plays a Sacred Foundry tapped. So we'll go ahead and get our Steam Vents tapped. What all the cool kids are doing. Draw, untap, all those things. Find ourselves another Stormwing Entity, which next turn those can start coming out. But first things first, let's just play a little Spritey Dragon. It would be fitting if we just sat here and beat all the meta decks and then lost to Janktown. I'd accept losing to Janktown. Oh, Mr. Territorial Kavu. You're at 3-3 at the moment, which means you're bolt bait. Speaking of which, he goes away and we swing for 2. Go, little dragon, go! All right, we get to play one of our 2 Stormwing entities. Poke ourselves in the eye with our Canopy Land. Again, I'd like to remind everybody, there's only 3 Canopy Lands in the deck. See how many games they show up. Cleansing Wildfire, Mutagenic Growth. So next turn, if we Cleansing Wildfire, we can just get the Mutagenic Growth. So top, we get to do both. Because hopefully they're just kind of stuck on lands. Because they did play out a basic forest, as opposed to playing out other color cards that would have gotten it. Boo. There goes our dragon. Looks like they're stuck on lands, though, which is good for us. I mean, we might be asking for trouble doing this, but methinks we still Cleansing Wildfire the Sacred Foundry. What do they find? They found a plane, so they actually it did end up being fine. We'll play the Muta and just knock them around for as much as humanly possible. I realize I'm playing this out of turn right now, but I'm pretty sure they're just yielding through the turn at this point. Soul-Scar Mage, not what we're looking for now. Go to the bottom, please. Sprite Dragon, that's better than a Soul-Scar Mage, so we deal them 8. The problem is this one doesn't stay big. So they're at 9, but it just turns back to a 3-3. And another time when we get there. Running hot as hell. Running hot. Ooh, we just missed him. So you might notice my shirt has changed along with some of the shooting conditions, and that's because for Game 5, I couldn't find another game. I was there for like 10 minutes trying to find a partner here in the 2-player queue, and it just wasn't going to happen. So there was a guy here. I did start recording. Apparently I should have hit start and then recorded because I just missed him. Hopefully it won't be too long to find the 5th and final match here, but we are 4-0 at the moment, which feels amazing. But we do have to sit here and now wait for another guy. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the camera, because who knows how long this is going to take. But yeah, that is something apparently you have to keep in mind if you're going to do one-on-ones versus a league, is you're going to spend a lot more time waiting for an opponent versus a league. That being said, I've won a lot more than I thought I was going to. So my original concern about, going into a league, going 1-4, going 2-3, and not getting the same value out has been fully mitigated at this point. But it is kind of interesting. I'll go over it more in the wrap-up as far as what it kind of feels like to go hot in the one-on-one queue, like we're about to go into our final match here, versus 5-0ing a league. So let's go ahead and try this out and see how we do. I'll just make this, there we are. So let's see, we have 3 Soul-Scar Mages and 2 Manamorphose. Depending on what they're doing, this could be fast enough, so let's see what they're up to. Alright, opponent goes first, plays a Marsh Flats and cracks it, gets a Temple Garden, so this could be some sort of Vizier combo, or it just looks like some sort of Coco thing. Esper Sentinel's not the worst thing to see. Ooh, a Sprite Dragon, that actually looks amazing. Go ahead and get a Steam Vent, Soul-Scar Mage, so hopefully by the time they get to draw the extra card off of Esper Sentinel, we will have gone to the races. Some sort of a Yawgmoth combo, maybe? Inquisition of Kozilek. Luckily, we have redundancy. The only thing they could take is Sprite Dragon. That would make things kind of weird. Right, our opponent has a second Esper Sentinel, which is fine, because we're just going to spend next turn playing 2 Soul-Scar Mages, probably. A Burst Lightning. Okay, so yeah, we'll definitely just play the 2 Soul-Scar Mages, and then hopefully next turn we can get them in 1, if everything kind of goes to plan. Yeah, I doubt they're going to trade in a Sentinel for a Soul-Scar Mage, but they're more than welcome to if they'd like. Nope, they choose just to take it, go to 14. It'd be nicer if we had a flyer, but... Oh, they're already going to attacks. So, did they miss a land drop? Oh, nope, they didn't miss the land drop. Lingering Souls. That's kind of annoying, actually. That's not going to get less annoying either. So it looks like game 2 will want Kozilek's Return. Draw another Manamorphose. Okay, so here's the thing. We can... Let's see. 1, 2, 3... And these all essentially count as bolts. So 6, 9, 12. Lethal if they don't... I think they'll block, though. See how much they block. Because anything we do other than Burst Lightning is going to allow them to... Yeah. I think we just take them out and go to the next turn. Because I don't want them drawing too many cards here. They can Lingering Souls, so that's fine. Put themselves down to 12. That's only going to make it more hurting when they finally go for it. Siege Rhino. Okay, they're down to 1 card, though. Land might not be the worst thing to draw. We draw a Lightning Bolt. Okay, so we attack. They block with Siege Rhino. They take 2, 4, 6. Could be lethal depending on how they block. So let's go ahead and offer them a trade, because if they block with the Esper Sentinels, I'll let... Okay, no, so this should be lethal. Again, they could draw into Solitude plus white creature, because this is Modern, and they are playing white. So they get to draw 2 cards. We get to just prowess up. Red card, Morphe, red. Manamorphose is only getting more damaging the more we red. All right, and Lightning Bolt, and then a Lightning. And that's, my friends, how you blitz somebody. But they seem to be doing some sort of Abzan, probably Reanimator, based on what we saw here, or at least just value in general. So we definitely want Kozilek's Return based on what we saw. I mean, unless they're just playing junk, I have to assume this is some sort of Reanimator combo. We haven't actually seen anything. Vapor Snag's bag, because their payoff kind of, because their payoffs do things when they come into play. So I don't think we want Vapor Snag. I don't think we want Stern Dismissal. I don't think there's anything to Abrade. Stormwing Entity is probably better than Bedlam Reveler, because there's going to be so much on the ground. Cleansing Wildfire, they seem to have a fair number of basics, so I don't think that does anything. Tormod's Crypt is the questionable thing, though. I guess we have a game to lose, and we're also going to be on the draw this turn and not the play. So let's go ahead and hit submit and see what we got going on. We have a Kozilek's Return. We have a Stormwing Entity and a Monastery Swiftspear, but too many lands. Because by the time we get to do this, they just get to play a Rhino and kill us. So we'll mull. This is almost an identical hand. We'll put one of the Stormwings back, but the Manamorphose just makes this better, along with having a first turn play in Soul-Scar Mage. Now they do have hand disruption, so they could just... Oh no, they'll play Stirring Wildwood. So this probably means we just kind of get to go off. So here's Soul-Scar Mage. Yield through the turn. See what their first play is going to be. Take 2. Inquisition. Okay, so they can take Manamorphose or Inquisition or Kozilek's Return. So if they take Kozilek's Return, that means they have like the pro white creature somewhere in their hand. But if they take Manamorphose, yeah, that kind of sticks us on Stormwing Entity. It's Esper Sentinel. It's fine. Again, hopefully we just kill them by the time they get to draw cards. There's a Lightning Bolt. I think we save that till next turn, maybe. Swinging with Soul-Scar Mage. I doubt they'll see this as a problem. Of course they don't. We'll go ahead and pass back to them. They untap. Play a Snow-Covered Forest. Looks like they might just be passing. Oh no, they're gonna get frisky, sure. Must mean they have a Lingering Soul or something. Alright, no, they just have nothing. So we'll go ahead and get ourselves Steam Vent. Oh, something while they were tapped out. Instance is this? Kaya's Guile. Sure? Steam Vent tapped. No reason to let them draw multiple cards, so we'll just untap. Spirebluff Canal. Definitely play out Spirebluff Canal. I mean, next turn they can just play the Siege Rhino that they inevitably have. So I suppose lightning bolting the Esper Sentinel and then playing out Storming Entity, letting them draw a card, which feels kind of bad, but it stops it for the future. Plus, then we have a Stormwing Entity. You can draw a card, and play out our flyer. Don't need another land. Manamorphose, though, is always welcome. We'll go ahead and pass after. See what they got up to. So they play Nurturing Peatland. I'd imagine they have Rhino. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4. Yep. Nope, I'm a Mighty Wizard. So they have Rhino, they get to go up 3, we go down 3. Manamorphose. Okay, so first things first, let's just go ahead and Manamorphose, see what we got going on. Let's go blue-red just in case. Expressive Iteration, that looks amazing. So we'll Expressive, let's see. 1 to hand, which should be Swiftspear. 1 to the bottom, which will be Soul-Scar, and then Lava Dart. Then Dart, play Fiery Island, play out the Swiftspear. We could probably just Dart again, because they're going to have more. We'll just Dart again now. We have more than enough lands. And put them down. I mean, if they have another Siege Rhino, then, you know, you got us. There's not much we could do about that, but right now we're doing some work. We have a Monastery Swiftspear to stop their Kaya's Guile from just dumpstering us. We also still have Kozilek's Return, which they know about. Stirring Wildwood, of course, can always block the Stormwing Entity, but if they're sitting there just doing that, is this another Rhino? Damn, was this overloaded? Looks like it was overloaded. So we're going to destroy everything. That's fine. And this is where the reanimation stuff kind of comes into play. What do we draw? Manamorphose. Okay, so we get to keep digging, which is good. Like we drew it up. Get the Stormwing Entity off of Manamorphose and just scry 2. Okay, so we're going to go top, and we're going to cross our fingers real hard that they don't remove Stormwing Entity. If they kill Stormwing Entity, this is bad, but if they don't, we get to deal them a whole bunch of damage. Okay, Stoneforge Mystic. I mean, whatever they get, Stoneforge Mystic is dying next turn. Batterskull. Yeah, that's a thing. Didn't know they had Stoneforge, so next time around, we'll go ahead and just bring in Abrades. This is interesting, though, because if we opt, then we won't be able to kill the Stoneforge Mystic. But if we do this now, that means I have to spend all next turn playing Batterskull, which is fine, because then we draw Mutagenic Growth, and then hopefully find a way to deal lethal off of Opt and Muta. So let's just go ahead and play Kozilek's Return. And we'll just pass, because we don't want to lose the Stormwing Entity. And if they have to spend all next turn playing Batterskull, we're hoping to find... Oh, I don't know why they're doing now. Beginning of combat. Are they just going to animate Stirring Wildwood before I attack? Because I can tell you I'm not going to attack. Yeah, so they took a bunch of damage for no reason, because I opted to not attack. Kind of cover up that mistake there by drawing a card. They made it easier for us. Them taking 3 was nice. Okay, tapping down 2, tapping down 3. I mean, if it's... no, Lingering Souls. Okay, so that's kind of annoying. Blockers are kind of unfortunate, but we don't have to go off next turn. Oof. Now we have to figure out a way to get through a bunch of blockers before Batterskull comes down, so that's actually quite bad. Okay, so we know we have Muta. We're going to opt because I don't think we have 4 turns to get out of this, so we need to find an answer. Scalding Tarn doesn't do it, so that has to go to the bottom. Expressive Iteration. That might help us set up for a better turn. Lava Dart, Mountain, Stormwing Entity. So, Stormwing Entity into our hand. Lava Dart to the bottom, exile Mountain. Play Mountain. And then next turn we get to get a second Stormwing Entity. I mean, that Batterskull is going to cause problems, but unfortunately I don't think there's a correct way of getting out of this. Although I guess that Lava Dart could have taken down 2 Spirit tokens, so I guess we did that wrong. Yeah, here comes the Batterskull. Something bigger than a Batterskull? Oh no, just a big old Kaya's Guile. Which is fine, because we can just Mutagenic Growth one of their creatures. And still play out Stormwing Entity if we don't find something of note. Expressive Iteration. We could also just find that. So let's play out Expressive Iteration. Still keep trying to dig for answers here. So one of them to hand, that'll be Lava Dart. One of them to the bottom, which will be the Muta, and then we'll exile Scalding Tarn, play Scalding Tarn, crack, go get just a mountain, blue and red, and Stormwing. This will also hopefully let us set up for next turn. Fiery Islet, no. Monastery Swiftspear just gets blocked also by Slings and Land, so I guess we put that to the bottom as well, because once they play out that Batter Skull, there's really no doing anything on the ground. Yeah, so here's the Batter Skull, which has kind of been what we've been hoping wouldn't happen. I mean, we could still top deck a Kozilek's Return and, you know, do something cool with it. Shadow Spear. Okay, so we need to win next turn or we are super done for. But apparently we absolutely need to bring in Abrades next go around. Sprite Dragon. Does that change anything? Well, we have enough mana to do literally everything, so I guess we can kind of go off. So we can ping down 2, then they still have 2 blockers. So we have to hope Fiery Island draws something of note, which I guess we do now. Soul-Scar Mage. That's a no. So unless they really screw up here, we're kind of dead. But we'll see if they can error, maybe. Oh, maybe they're an idiot. 1, that's 2. Okay, so now we have ourselves a problem. Because even if they don't block, they still live, and then I think we die if they don't block. Let's see if they figure that out. No, they're gonna block 1. They could just kill us on crackback. Okay. I don't think we beat them gaining 6 life, especially with this hand. Oh, they're just gonna deal us 4? I mean, just dealing us 4 is not bad for us. It actually leaves us a little bit more in the game. Because they just went straight to combat, and then they swung at us for 4. They're at 12. We have 2 things that are starting at 3 before the music starts. What's their second play? Ooh, more Lingering Souls. Okay. So it's Kozilek's Return or Bust here on the ranch. A mountain. Bust. Okay. So we go to the next one. Then the next cards. Lava Dart, Scalding Tarn, Mita, Firebluff. Yeah. Okay. So now we know the Abrades are kind of necessary. Pick off the 2 Burst Lightnings, which are probably our weakest cards. Yeah, we need to beat them in the air. We need to beat them in the air fast. Kozilek's Return are nice for kind of wiping away their board a little bit. I don't think Tormod's Crypt is correct, because we'll never actually have priority to stop their Lingering Souls from doing what they do. This is great if we could find a threat, but I think we need to be explosive, so let's try again. Okay, we can do this. Put away the Expressive, because we kind of need to just go runner here. So we'll play the Bloodstained Mire and yield, see what they do, see if we want to opt or if we want to keep our opt in our hand. Okay, might as well do it now then. I mean, maybe there's a world where opting once we have the Sprite. Definitely didn't want to draw. Okay, well, you know what? I don't feel bad opting because we got 2 lands out of the way, and we would have straight up lost if we drew this. There's a Bolt. But I think we keep doing this because we don't want any more lands. We have more than enough lands. We want them out of our deck. We'll play Sprite Dragon, hope it lives, and then next turn, hopefully we can go to the races. If we can draw something of note, that would be great. Like a Lava Dart would be amazing. Ooh, the ending hurts. That might have just knocked us back enough where we're kind of dead here. Swiftspear. Well, we still don't want any more lands, so we'll go ahead and crack this. Draw the land. Play the land. Play Swifty. Just kind of offer the trade. Okay, they're not going to block, so we're going to punish them. We're going to bolt and pay the 1. Deal them a little bit more damage, get rid of their creature, and hopefully they don't have Lingering Souls, which just kind of, oh no, Lingering Souls. Oh man, it's a little disheartening when you can call what's going to happen before it happens. Iteration. Okay, so let's start with that. Hopefully we can find a Lava Dart. Expressive Iteration, Sprite Dragon, Sprite Dragon. We can't actually cast any of this. So I guess we want this in our hand, and we lose the 2 Sprite Dragons. We'll just swing, take out one of their things. You know, there were so many red cards we could have found that would have made us look really smart, but now we just look dumb for fetching blue lands rather than Tarmogoyf. Okay, Tarmogoyf is a lot. What do we draw? Lava Dart. Too little too late on the Lava Dart, probably, but we can go ahead and Expressive and see what we can find here. Lava Dart, Expressive Iteration. Okay, so we can take out the Tarmogoyf. That requires destroying a lot of our land because our guy's already a 2/3, so we attack, they block. We have to deal 6. So we can Lava Dart, that goes up to 3/4. Lava Dart, it goes up to 5/6. We could just, but we don't have enough mana to cast all the Lava Darts, so we have to kill at least one of our mountains, take it out. So we'll just go ahead and put a Lava Dart to hand, Expressive Iteration to the bottom, Lava Dart to exile. Do this now. If they want to block, they have to block with the Tarmogoyf. And we're probably like very much telegraphing what's about to happen here. We can cast 2 more. Yeah, so we can trade, which is probably the best thing we can do now. I mean, best thing for us is if they don't block. Lava Dart guy, Path the Creature. Okay. Well, we certainly won't be drawing lands anytime soon. I probably would have done that once I started sacrificing mountains, but now we have Lava Darts where if we find like a Sprite Dragon or something, we can kind of go off. Especially since they're going to play Lingering Souls and we have Lava Darts to kind of shoot those down. Don't get me wrong, we're not in a great position, but we're in a better position than I thought we would be. Another Tarmogoyf. So he's got a pretty quick clock. Nothing wrong with the Manamorphose. I think first thing we do is opt to see how much of the red land... Abrade, that doesn't do anything. Bottom, Mutagenic Growth. That also does nothing. So Manamorphose, go blue, red, and really do some hoping here. We have a Soul-Scar Mage, which isn't nothing. We play Soul-Scar Mage, and then we pass the turn and hope they don't have removal. We're going to have to spend a lot of our mana and stuff to take down the 2 Tarmogoyfs, but I believe we can, you know, kill at least 1 Tarmogoyf. Okay, so start the clown music. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 spells, which turns that into a 5/6. So we need to put 1 Lava Dart on the Tarmogoyf itself. Now we Muta, which is playing with fire, but you know, when it's what you have, it's what you have, because we want to kind of shrink the other Tarmogoyf as well, if possible. So 5/6. So this now kills that Tarmogoyf. Let's go ahead and kind of shrink this other guy a touch. I think that's about all we want to do, because if they Lingering Souls, then we can shoot down the 2 Lingering Souls. I doubt we'll find lethal, but this is playing to our outs as much as we can. So here's Lingering. Oh, yeah, that looks like Lingering Souls. So there's Lingering Souls. We have 2 Lava Darts. We can currently deal 4. Forge Mystic. Okay. It's just another blocker, unfortunately. Ultra Complete, which is fine. Just don't be a land. Kozilek's Return. Okay. I can absolutely screw with that. So first things first, let's sweep as much of the board away as possible. It makes Tarmogoyf a 2/3. So for 2 damage, if we go Dart, that deals 6 damage. It's kind of blowing our load though, and they're still at 5 after that. And Tarmogoyf gets to come in, hit us for another 2. Unless they have Shadow Spear though, they could just kill us with Stirring Wildwood though. So I guess we do have to kind of shrink Goyf a little while we can. And while Soul-Scar Mage has the pump from the Kozilek's Return. Now the Stirring Wildwood can hit us for 3, but that'll be their whole turn. I mean, I don't exactly see how we win either, but Kozilek's Return was definitely the best thing we could have found at the moment. Because now they have a sad Tarmogoyf and a Stirring Wildwood. Is it Kaya's Guile? Oh no, a Siege Rhino. We go to 1. I don't see how we kill a Siege Rhino. Another Soul-Scar Mage. And we die. All right. The game. So what have we learned taking our former glory tier 1 list back into Modern unchanged from the last time I touched it? Because absolutely, this is very easy to upgrade with Modern Horizon 2 cards. You could just as easily add in Dragon Rage Channeler, Ragavan, Mishra's Bauble, and just make this deck better. But eventually that just kind of turns into the Murktide deck, and that's not what I was interested in. I was interested in playing Izzet Blitz. And turns out, Izzet Blitz, don't sleep on it. It can still win games. We went 4-1, which is unthinkable for me. I don't know if we would have went 4-1 in a league as opposed to just doing one-on-one matches for play points. But again, that's a lot better than I thought it was going to do. If you remember at the beginning of the video, I said we were going to do one-on-one matches because I expected to lose most of the time. And the EV on losing in one-on-ones is better than the EV on a league where you take, 2 wins or 1 win. So again, this worked out really great. You could still see the power of just dropping these hilarious little 1/1s and then using all of your little low-end spells to just go over the top and fly over them with Sprite Dragon and Stormwing Entity. Stormwing Entity always goes down as one of my favorite anti-meta cards because it couldn't get Fatal Pushed, and unless you're trying really, really hard, it also can't get Prismatic Ending, and 90% of the decks that are playing Prismatic Ending. So again, this worked out great. Would I recommend anyone go out now and buy this deck as opposed to buying Murktide Region or Izzet Control? I don't know. This isn't budget enough to say, yeah, no, go out and buy it, have a ball with the silliness of it. Also, a lot of matches when I was just testing before I was recording, people scoop when they see it. People still don't want to play against this. This is something that people have a lot of memory of that is negative. But overall, it's still powerful. It can still play games. And I think we've also gotten to the point where a lot of the anti-blitz cards have kind of fallen off the meta, because you're not going to run into it nearly as often as you used to. It used to be 8, 9, 10% of the meta, and now it's like 0% of the meta or 0 point something percent of the meta. But yeah, you could definitely go out there and have fun with your old tier 1 decks in Modern. Heck, the last game we played, we lost to an Abzan junk list. The terror of what? 2012? You know, a 10-year-old idea that just came in and beat us with Siege Rhinos. More props to you. So yeah, that's just another quick video for my own entertainment. Not entirely sure what the next video is going to be, but thank you guys for coming along for the ride, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next one.